I'm sitting here with the OG AMS. The OG AMS does have some serious design flaws. One of those is the fact that the filament path is through a series of Bowden tubes trapped underneath the components of the AMS. Should you have an issue where you need to remove a jam, it requires disassembling and removing major components of the AMS system. This is something that you might find somewhat terrifying. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and with the great multi-material power the AMS brings us, it also brings with it the scary responsibility of having to disassemble the unit to resolve minor issues such as broken filament. Let's say you're doing a multicolor print and whammo, your filament snaps. You take it off, it's broken off. Oh my God, where is it? It's in there. Unfortunately, to rescue your AMS and remove that filament requires removing this entire center section of the AMS. This may sound somewhat terrifying, however, this is something you will need to learn and become comfortable with if you plan to be a regular user of the original Bambu Lab AMS. So, pull up your big boy pants, take a deep breath, and we are going to get you started on your journey taking apart the AMS to deal with issues such as broken filament right now. Here we are looking inside the AMS. You will need to remove all your filaments and any updates such as desiccant upgrades from the front of the machine. As scary as this looks, we will focus only on the elements that we need to interact with to help keep it less intimidating. To start, we're going to remove 2 screws. Those of you who own an A1, the A1 came with an Allen key that fits. Go through your Allen keys and find one that fits. We will be removing 2 screws, one here and one here. If you have a simple pair of Allen keys and you're not sure which size you need, simply slide it in, feel for the bolt, and if it fits snugly inside the bolt, you know it's good. Using the tool of your choice, remove both screws. These are the 2 screws. Put them somewhere safe. I am about to tell you something insane. Do not put them back in. Leave these screws out. With those screws out, you will now see the entire inside of the AMS moves. However, we cannot remove it yet because of the Bowden tube. In order to release the Bowden tube, you need to look right there. This is a Bowden release button. Take your 2 fingers, slide it inside, and squeeze that button down. With that button depressed, grab the Bowden tube, pull it out, and remove it. With both screws and the Bowden tube removed, there is nothing else holding this entire section inside the AMS housing. We are now going to remove it by lifting it out this way. There are 2 wires that need to be disconnected underneath this section of the AMS. They are connected to a small circuit board and they are very short. Bring your finger in here, squeeze that button, and lift up. You are going to probably grind your fingers just a touch. Once you get to this point where the button has cleared the lid, you are on your way. We are going to very gently grab this center section and lift up. And as you do that, I want you to bring this lower section forward. This will expose the 2 wires connected to the small circuit board. Simply get your finger under there, pop it up, get your finger under here, and pop it up. At this point, your AMS is completely free. You can lift it up and take it out. Let's go ahead and clear that jam. Pay attention to which feeder the jam came from. In my case, it's this one. We will turn the unit upside down. This will expose the path from the feeder to the exit of the AMS. Our filament is trapped inside this tube. To free it, we will need to remove this tube, from this coupler right here. To do that, depress this ring and pull this tube out. And would you look at that? Go ahead and free it from the tube and the exit carefully as to not break it again. What if you try to remove this filament and it won't budge? It's stuck in the exit of the AMS. Get your fingers underneath here. Put your thumb on this mechanism right here, the one with the spring. Squeeze it down. That will release the filament and you will be able to remove it from the exit. It's now time to put the AMS back together. Open the lid. Take note of these two connectors. Here are the guts of the AMS. We will place it down like so, and then lean it forward and press it to the front. This part is very hard to coach or demonstrate. Each cable only fits one slot. Make sure you have the right cable. I like to give it a little bend downward. Place it over the slot, push it down with your thumb. Do the same with the second cable. Give it a little bend downward. Line it up with the slot. Give it a little push downward. They click in very gently. They're very small, pathetic cables. With those wires attached, grab the AMS, slide it forward while bringing the rear down. When you get to the button, it's going to catch on the lid. Support it with your other hand, depress the button, and work it behind that lid. Guiding it down behind the little rubber nipple. Somehow it will drop into place and you'll see the exit and the nipple are lined up. You can now reinstall your Bowden tube, sliding it through the nipple and into that exit of the AMS. With everything back together, leave the two screws out so that you can do this in the future without having to remove them. This eliminates the chance of stripping the screw, leaving you stuck, unable to take your AMS apart. With the filament removed, you are free to go ahead and reinstall your filament and get back to printing. You're on the 3D Rundown YouTube channel. I'm Great Adventure, your 3D printing instructor across the internet, and freeing your poor AMS of a broken off stuck piece of filament was today's adventure.